Stephen Devereux. Stephen Devereux c. 1191–1228 was a powerful Marcher lord, and held Lyonshall Castle, controlling an important approach to the border of Wales. As a key member of William Marshal, 1st Earl of Pembroke retinue, he played a significant role in the Earl's support of King John during the First Barons' War and during the minority of Henry Roman III. Birth and ancestry. Stephen Devereux was born about 1191, the eldest of three sons of Walter Devereux and Cecilia de Longchamp. Cecilia was the daughter of Sir Hugh de Longchamp and sister to William de Longchamp, Lord Chancellor of England. His father, Walter, died in 1197, and as a member of the retinue of William Devereux, this probably occurred in France during May 1197, at the assault on the castle at Milly-sur-Theraine. Devereux was with Richard as he campaigned to regain his territories lost while Richard was held captive by Leopold of Austria. Walter Devereux's lands passed into the king's hands and were placed in the custody of the Sheriff of Hereford, William Devereux, 4th Lord of Bramber. His sons were placed in the retinue of local lords for training as knights: Stephen Devereux with William Marshal, Earl of Pembroke; Nicholas Devereux with Walter de Lacy, Lord of Meath; and John Devereux with William Devereux, 4th Lord of Bramber. Stephen's mother, Cecilia, launched into a series of legal fights to preserve her dower rights and the Devereux properties. Career, marriage, marriage. About 1208, William Marshal directed his attention to arranging marriage alliances for his children. He did the same for his foster son in 1209, when he arranged Stephen Devereux's marriage to Isabel de Cantilupe, daughter of William de Cantilupe, Sheriff of Herefordshire, and his wife, Mazelia Brassai. She was also the aunt of Thomas de Cantilupe, Bishop of Hereford. They would go on to have children. Unknown daughter born till 1213. Margaret Devereux born till 1216. She married Alexander Redmond of the Hall. William Devereux born 1219, who was his heir, and probably named in honour of William Marshal, who died this year. Philip Devereux, Knight of Balmaguire, born till 1221. Following Stephen Devereux's death, Isabel Cantilupe married a second time to Richard Pennebruge, and survived him as well. Principal landholdings. Stephen Devereux's principal seat was at Lyonshall Castle in Hereford. His manors included Ballingham, Fromhelm and Herbert, Stoke Lacy, Holme Lacy, La Fen Bodenham, and Whitchurch Maund in Herefordshire, Chedderhole Cheddar in Somerset, Lower Hayton in Salop, and Wilby in Norfolk. Additional lands included Clahonger and Staunton-on-Wye in Herefordshire, Crowle in the Royal Forest of Feckham, and Staunton in Worcester, Guyting and Oxenhall in Gloucestershire. Oxenhall, Trumpington, Fromhelmond, and Whitchurch Maund were held by Isabel de Cantilupe in dower until her death. Death. Stephen Devereux died on 17 March 1228. His wife, Isabel, survived him, and married a second time to Ralph de Pembroke on 17 March 1228 from the court at Windsor, a writ concerning lands to be taken into the king's hand. Order to the Sheriff of Herefordshire that, immediately after having viewed these letters, he is to take into the king's hand the land that Stephen Devereux held of the king in chief near to Gallow, and all other lands that he held in his bailiwick, and to keep them safely until the king is certain to whom the custody of the aforesaid lands pertains, whether to the king or to another. In March 1228 the king issued a writ instructing the Sheriff of Hereford to release the lands of Isabel Cantilupe's dower that had been taken into his hands by the order of the king on Stephen's death. On 21 February 1244 the king provided a further writ specifically restoring to her the manor of Fromherbert Fromhelmond, which was held in dower as part of the barony of Walter de Lacy. On 3 April 1228 the king further clarified that the sheriff was to take into his possession certain lands that Stephen held by fee of Gilbert de Lacy. In 1242 Isabel Devereux held in Magine Album with Church Maund in the parish of Bodenham of the honour of Weobley 2 hides from Roger Pitchard by knight's service in the hundred of Broxess in Hereford. On 21 February 1244 his widow gave to the hospital of St. Ethelbert for the souls of herself and her 2 husbands and them Ladam Bladdy at the feast of St. Andrew during her life. This deed has a seal of white wax with the arms of Devereux, and around it sigillum, a sable plus, and was witnessed by Hugh de Kilpeck, John de Ebroisis, and Richard de Chandos. The arms of Devereux was described as a fess and in chief 3 tortoises. Biographical References. Holden, Brock. Lords of the Central Marches, English Aristocracy and Frontier Society, 1087-1265, Oxford, Oxford University Press, 2008. Pages 46 to 136. Bridges, Sir Egerton. Collins's Peerage of England, Genealogical, Biographical, and Historical. Greatly augmented and continued to the present time. London, F.C. and J. Rivington, Attridge and Son, J. Nishalls and Company. T. Payne, Wilkie and Robinson, J. Walker, Clark and Sons, W. Lones, R. Lee, J. Volume VI, pages 1 to 22. Devereux, Viscount Hereford. Burke, Sir Bernard. A Genealogical History of the Dormant, Abeyant, Forfeited, and Extinct Peerages of the British Empire. Baltimore, Genealogical Publishing Company, 1978. Page 169. Devereux, Barons Devereux. Cockayne, G. E. Complete Barontage. New York, St. Martin's Press, 1984. Volume Roman 4, page 296 to 302. Devereux or Devereux article by G. W. Watson. Duncombe, John. Collections Towards the History and Antiquities of the County of Hereford. Hereford, E. G. Wright, 1812. Part I of Volume Roman 2, page 36 to 41, 166 to 168 Broxesh 100. Mayor Paul. El Histoire de Boulogne le Merchel, Comte de Strigwell et de Pembroke, Regent d'Angleterre de 1216 à 1219, Paris, Libraire de la Société de l'Histoire de France, 1891. Redmond, Gabriel Ocote. An account of the Anglo-Norman family of Devereux of Balmaguire, County Wexford. Dublin, Office of the Irish Builder, 1891. Pages 1 to 5. Robinson, Charles J. A History of the Castles of Herefordshire and Their Lords. Woonton, Laugaston Press, 2002. Pages 125 to 129. Specific references